rights. Why is this so? Societies where men are favored, they promote inequality and are unjust and promote injustice, whereas societies where women are favored, they are just following their culture and don't promote inequality. Therefore, the conclusion is not optional, it is inevitable. One thing all of us must realize is that it is not anti-woman to speak for men. And also, when we talk about equality, most of the times we treat it as women's rights. Whereas this misinterpretation nullifies the entire concept of equality, as equality means equal rights for both genders. I would like to end my case with a few words. Men and women side by side, let fairness be our constant guide. Let us raise our voice, let truth take flight, for every heart deserves its life. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarojini Naidu. Now we move to the interjector from Jayant Mahapatra.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready with your first question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your time starts now.
Good afternoon, respected judges and my dear audience. I am the interjector from the team, Jayanta Mahapatra, and I am questioning on the topic, not only women, men also needed to be protected in India. So, the speech delivered by my worthy opponent was incredible. However, there are some questions left in my mind. My question is that, in a world where women and girls are still denied education, they are forced into child marriages and human trafficking, especially in rural areas. Do you still think that it is appropriate to argue that men are more unsafe or underprotected than women?
Good question. Now I am sitting Sarojini Naidu. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your time starts now.
Thank you for your question. Yes, women are victim to crimes, but that does not mean men are not victim to crimes. Men are also victim to crimes, and it is high time that we grant equal protection to both genders. And my worthy opponent mentioned forced marriages. I would like to bring to your notice that in Bihar, Pakadwa Shadi is a practice that has been carried on since the last 50 to 60 years in my memory, what I have researched. In Pakadwa Shadi, a man is kidnapped and is forcefully married off. He is presented back to his family 1 year later with a wife and a child. So my point is, men are also victim to crimes and men are also victim to forced marriages. So it is not only women who are vulnerable to such crimes, it is men also who are vulnerable to crimes. Men are murdered by their husbands and put into blue drums. Men are forcefully married off. Men are put into jail on the basis of false allegations. So,
Thank you.
how can we say that men are not victim to crimes and only women are victim to crimes? I believe that both the genders are victim to crime. One is more vulnerable, one is less vulnerable, but that does not mean that we don't grant protection to both of them. We should grant protection to both the genders. Thank you.
Thank you for your response.
Thank you for your ma'am, can you put a timer?
Can pose the second question.
Yes, ma'am.
Your time starts now.
Thank you for your response. I appreciate your answer. Now, my next question is that in India, domestic violence, rape cases, sexual assault are the most common cases which are held against every woman and girls. In such cases, can you point to any global index where men are more discriminated or unsafe than women?
Chief Sarojini, are you ready with your answer?
Ma'am, can you please repeat her question? Her voice was fluctuating towards the end.
But we could hear the question very well.
Yes, ma'am, her voice was cracking towards the latter part of the question. Thank you.
Okay, interjector, please repeat the question.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please turn on the timer? Okay. In India, domestic violence, sexual assault, rape cases are the most common cases which are held towards against every woman. In such cases, can you point to any global index where men are more discriminated or unsafe than women?
Is it clear to you now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
time starts
there
now.
are multiple incidents that have come forward showing that men are raped. A few years back in Rajasthan, a woman raped a minor boy, and when that news came forward, the man was harassed by the same gender. Even fellow males harassed that man, calling him gay and other disgusting things. So yes, men are also victim to such crimes, but these incidents don't come forward as society suppresses them. And when we talk about this, I would say that the legal system also of our country does not protect men in such situations. The Rape Law Amendment of 2018 guaranteed protection to women, death penalty for the perpetrator, but it failed to recognize boys as victims. I would like to ask, if a little boy is also victim to such a crime, would he not deserve equal protection under the law? I believe both girls and boys should be given equal opportunities and should be given equal protection under the law, because even the society also discriminates and ridicules male victims, and the law is also failing to protect minor victims and boys as victims.
Thank you for your response. Now I request the speaker against the motion from Team Sarojini Naidu.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
What are you wearing?
Your time, we have your that review.
Shall I start? Shall I start?
Yes, you can start. Your time starts now.
What are you wearing? Where are you going? Why are you so late? These are the questions every girl in India has heard at some point in her life. Questions that expose one bitter truth. Our society already knows who's unsafe. Good morning to the present multitude of intellectuals. Today I, speaker from Team Sarojini Naidu, stand firmly dead against the motion that not only women but men also need protection in India. Take the horrifying Nirbha case of 2012, where one of the culprits walked freely just because he was under 18. Too young, the law said, but asked, was he too young to be punished, or was our justice system too weak to hold him at all? And as my opponent said, men too can be victims. Yes, they can be, but when newspapers scream daily of 9-year girl violated and 7-year grandmother assaulted, tell me, where is equality in this danger? From Sati to Johar to Culture Bazaar, we have moved from tradition to modernity, yet the chains of patriarchy still bind us. You call it protection, we call it control. A cocoon spun tight that traps the soul. If you think we need to be protected, maybe it's time to protect yourself from your own outdated ideas. Women are still paid less than men. Reports show that Indian women earn about 20% less for the same amount. If even equal effort doesn't buy equality, then what will? And I would like to point out that male chauvinism violates a woman's dignity, equality, and subjugates her both physically as well as mentally. A recent case in West Bengal highlights an inhumane Sikh mindset. At Arjikar Medical College, a doctor was assaulted, and on social media, people mocked her. Who would even touch her? She's bad. Her pain became a punchline. If even suffering is mocked, where is humanity left? And when leaders themselves become predators, danger cuts deeper. Remember former Union Minister M.J. Akbar, accused of multiple sexual harassment cases during the Me Too movement. If those meant to protect us turn predators, whom can women trust? The law bends, the system protects, but the women continue to bleed. And here is the contrast. Every year, 8 million marriages take place, with divorces under 1%. Alimony battles are legal, but dowry illegal, still claiming over 6,000 women's lives annually. One is a burden after leaving, and other is a demand before living. So why rage at one and be silent at the other? Visit the red light areas. Women are forced to stand like objects for sale, while men casually walking like buyers. Look at the sportswomen winning medals. While medal shines on their chest, society stares at their body. The fear is so deep rooted that even in hospitals, girls often prefer a female gynec over a male one. Why? Because bitter experience has taught them. Trusting a man with your body is always a risk. From workplace exploitation, street harassment, marital rapes to acid attacks at home. Danger follows the women everywhere and every day. This shows in India
women face a far greater, deeper, and more urgent threat. A man may have some stories of heartbreak, but every girl carries a story of harassment. Some told, many hidden. Let me end with Rabindranath Tagore's prayer, reimagined for today, where the mind is without fear of world and shame, where knowledge is freed from patriarchal claims, where the world has not broken into fragments by narrow walls of gender labyrinth. Into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Sarojini Naidu. I call the interjector from Team Jayant Mahapatra. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your time starts now.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the way you express your speech, but somehow I still have some questions left in my mind. My question is that if protection is based on need and not on gender, then why male victims of abuse and violence are often overlooked in public and media?
Thank you, interjector. Team Sarojini, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your time starts now.
Justice is not a contest of blood. It's about who suffers the most. And according to statistics and CRB data, women face a far greater death. You're talking about cyberbullying, how men are facing trolling in the social media. Let me tell you, women, on the other hand, face threats of rapes, morph images, revenge porn, abuse designed not just to humiliate them but to silence their very presence online. This shows women are not just this shows the women are just silenced, but they are thrown out of public spaces altogether. Men, on the other hand, face trolling. Yes, they indeed are victims, but disclose, we should not ignore the women who are facing this higher risk. Protection is not about sameness. Equality is not about sameness. Protection is based on vulnerability, and according to reports, women face a far greater death. Justice should be not, if justice becomes a contest of who please more, then let me tell you, justice is not being justice. It's just a scoreboard of who please more. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Sarojini Naidu. Jayant Mahapatra, are you ready with the second question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your time starts now.
Thank you, my friend, for your answer. I appreciate your answer. Now, my next question is that is it protecting only women reinforcing a gender stereotype about men being always wrong? And how is it fair to talk about gender equality if only one gender is being protected?
Thank you, interjector. Team Sarojini, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your time starts now.
Equality is not about sameness. Protection should be based on vulnerability. The Justice Warmer Committee also said that we need gender-sensitive laws, not gender-blind laws. And it was enforced that men should need protection. Yes, but they should not need protection the same level as women. It's just if you're saying women need protection the same level as women, is saying like stab wound and a paper scratch needs the same treatment. Both cases are hurtful, but one is more far lethal. This shows that this shows women are more far lethal in the reports in the sense. Men may fall into fall cases, but women falls to acid attacks, workplace harassment, marital rape, and lastly, they are being silenced. This shows women need more protection than men, and they need laws which are made, and also at the same time they are implemented too. Because if the laws are not implemented, uh, law it's just like locking a door but keeping the keys outside. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Sarojini Naidu and Team Jayant Mahapatra. Now I call the team number 9, Vikram Seth. Vikram Seth.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Is the lateral view visible?
We are waiting for that.
Is it visible?
Yes, now it's visible.
Lateral view is not.
Yeah, both the views are perfectly fine.
Shall I start?
Yes, your time starts now.
Justice cannot be for one side alone, but must be for both. These words by Eleanor Roosevelt echo the very heart of my argument today. So, good morning, honorable judges, worthy teachers, and my very talented opponents. I, a member of Team Vikram Seth, rise to speak for the motion that not only females but males too need to be protected in India. We all talk about women's safety, and rightly so. But let me ask you, what about the boys and men who are silently suffering? We often assume that men are always the protectors, but never the ones who need protection. But is that really true? Or is it a story we have told ourselves for so long that we have forgotten to see the reality? A 2019 study revealed that more than half of Indian men, yes, more than 52% of them, have faced some form of domestic violence in their lives. And yet, how many of them dare to report it? Very few. Why? Because society whispers to them men don't cry, men don't complain, and men are always strong. But let me ask you, is silence the price of manhood? Or is endurance the only language men are allowed to speak? Real stories remind us that this silence has a cost. In Maharashtra, a young man named Rohan was brutally beaten, stripped, and filmed over a suspicion of cow theft. In Gujarat, two men were tied to a tree and trashed by villagers simply for eloping with women. And in Delhi, a 24-year-old taxi driver was shot in head by assailants and is battling for life today. These are not just statistics. These are brothers, sons, friends, and most importantly, human beings. Human beings who deserve protection but did not receive it. But we often say, men are stronger, they can handle it. But let's think, stronger against what? Can muscles shield them from embarrassment or emotional abuse? Can strength protect them from false accusations that shatter their dignity overnight? And tell me, can we call a man strong if he lies awake at night wondering why his pain does not count? And what about the law? The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act is a powerful shield for women. But where is the shield for men? If our constitution promises equality, then why do we have to close our eyes to the wounds of half of our population? Tell me, can we call a man strong if he lies awake at night wondering why his pain does not count? I'm not here to undermine the struggles of women. I'm here to say protection should not come with a gender tag. If a woman's tears demand validation, so do a man's silent cries. So I ask you, dear audience, can we call ourselves a society when half of our population is told to suffer silently? And tell me, is it fair if we measure pain not by its depth but by the gender of the sufferer? The time has come to rethink our definition of safety and equality. We must build support systems, legal reforms, and above all, a culture where empathy is not gender biased. Because injustice against one is injustice against all. Let me end with the words of Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If we wish to build a fair and compassionate India, it's very important to ensure that not only females, but males too are protected. Remember, it's not men versus women, but it's more about truth versus the misuse. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Vikram Seth. Now I call the interjector from Team Markin Narayan.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready with the first question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you can pose your first question. Your time starts now.
If justice is a scale, then tell me who bears more weight of suffering and who needs stronger hands to lift it. In 2021, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime recorded 81,000 women killed intentionally, over half of them by intimate partners. The Bureau of Justice Statistics also reports that women are 5 times more likely to be killed by a partner than men. This validates that violence does have a gender. So, should we divert attention to male protection while the goal of women protection is still unfinished? Don't you think that women centric laws are still required and that neutralizing them would cause more harm to women than benefit to men?
Thank you, interjector. Team Vikram, are you ready with your response?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your time starts now.
Thank you for the question. And as I've already mentioned it before, protection should not come with a gender tag. If a woman's tears demand validation, so do a man's silent cries. And women do have protective laws for them, specific protective laws for them, whereas men don't. And there are specific laws made for women, like Article IPC 498A, where women can file a case against her husband, if the woman is facing some harassment. And also, there are some laws which were made assuming that men are always the ones who commit crime, but not the ones. I'm sorry, and not the ones who suffer it. So remember, it's not men versus women, but more about truth versus misuse. Thank you.
Good response given. Now we move to Remark Narayan. Are you ready with the second question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The
Thank
time starts now.
Okay. While there are constant emphasis on male suicides as evidences that men need protection, isn't it true that suicide is a more complex issue which depends on a lot of factors such as unemployment, poverty, and mental illness, not just gender biases? So comparing these statistics with women suffering and asserting for equal protection is absolutely deceiving. How can we blame laws and societal perception of men for these tragedies?
Thank you, Team Narayan. Team Vikram said, are you ready?
Thank you for the question, but I believe we should make separate laws for men as well, assuming that men also suffer with false accusations and embarrassment. Men also face false accusations and embarrassment because we all humans face some kind of problems in our life. So it's very inconvenient if we face, I mean, if we tell that women are the ones who face more problems than men. I agree that men are always the protectors, but never the ones who need to be protected. But I think we should make separate, laws for men, assuming that we should balance the laws. Thank you.
Very well defended. Now I call the speaker against the motion from the Team Vikram said. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Okay, your time starts now.
There is no chance for the welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. Rightly said. Respected chairperson, honorable judges, and my worthy opponents, I, a member of Team Vikram Seth, oppose the motion that not only women but men too need to be protected in India. Let us first acknowledge the reality. In India, women face an overwhelming burden of gender based violence and discrimination. Let me ask you a direct question, the ladies present here, and the males can just listen and introspect. Were you not told, and frequently so, by someone in your extended family to behave always in a certain restrained manner, to avoid confronting the catcallers, advised to choose subjects and professions more woman-like, to follow curfew timings, and so many similar things? And all this, while the men folk around you, your own brothers from the same background, had no limits, or at least a much larger playfield to explore. Needless to say, the Indian society is still not open to equal opportunities to its women. We pretend to be modern, an attribute that can be assigned to a minuscule part of our population. Even a highly educated women from good families face glass ceilings. A recent Grant Thornton report finds that men hold 85% of leadership roles in the Indian workforce. At home, 52% of Indian men believe they should have the final say in household decisions, according to the Center for the Study of Developing Societies, 2019. According to the National Crime Records Bureau, in 2022 alone, over 4.5 lakh cases of crimes against women were registered. Every 16 minutes,